everyone, it's Celeste and welcome back to my channel. My channel is all about cosplay! I teach you tutorials on how to make the outfit, how to do the makeup, so you can become the character of your dreams. Today's cosplay is Cher from Clueless. Cher from Clueless recently celebrated its anniversary, I think it's 20th anniversary, 10 years. And I came upon a lot of yellow plaid fabric. I did a quick job where I had to make multiple shorts from pants and I had the scraps left over. I don't like throwing away scraps, it's just not cool, so I decided to make an outfit with it. I couldn't think of any anime or video game character offhand that required me to use yellow plaid, so I decided to jog my memory a bit and I remembered Cher from Clueless actually has this really cute outfit. I decided to do a inspired look by Cher, and I don't really have the exact same materials, but you can see my creation notes here. If you're new to my channel, make sure to click that red button down below so you become a pin in my sewing pin cushion called YouTube. I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for your support, and I can't wait till I get there. Today's makeup is brought to you by the colors turquoise and fuchsia. Let's go ahead and start my process of how I made Cher. I have this giant pile of scrap pant legs and I want to turn that into something. I don't want to just immediately recycle the fabrics and turn them into somewhere and just try to make pillows. So instead I'll be trying to make my favorite forever and ever childhood dream movie, Clueless. I will be making Cher's outfit, and first up we're going to be needing to make the skirt. Truth be told, I really don't mind if the panels do not match. Look at all these pant edges. It's kind of weird, but I kind of tried to line them all up to see how much I can get. So this is going to be a nice scrap transformation. I wanted to use this for something and here we go. Hi Bowser, you think I'm going to do a good job? Your stunned silence scares me. So first I'm going to turn it inside out and I'm going to cut off one of the larger seams. The reason why I'm going to cut the seam instead of seam ripping it is because I really have a lot of these pant legs. So I'm just going to take my time and just cut these off. Because I have a really nice hem at the bottom, I want to make use of that. So if I was to seam rip it out, I would lose a little bit of that hem. And I really don't want to go back and redo it. So I'm going to take about 10 of these pant legs and cut them open. So now I've got to sew all of these together using the sewing machine. Bowser! Don't do that. Hey, stop that. Don't chew on the hemline. Now I'm going to take all of these pieces of fabric that I cut open and I'm going to sew them together at the bottom hemline, making sure that they are even. I don't want the hemline to be uneven because I joined them at the top. So I'm going to attach them together at the bottom first and then sew. So this fabric loves to fray because it's a woven fabric, so I'm going to the edges and I'm also serging it really hard. Now I'm going to pleat this fabric and turn it into a skirt. I'm doing a really large pleat because in the reference photos, I can't really tell if it's super pleated or not, although Dion's outfit's super pleated. Either way, I'm going to just do it my way. I'm kind of going off of memory for this. I didn't actually get references until after and now editing this video. So just letting you know, the full pleat is about 4 inches and I gave about a 2-inch fold. So it's a pretty wide pleat. After I did all of the pleats, I went ahead and sewed them down, and I went about 5 inches. After everything was sewn, the remainder of the pleats, I went and pressed really hard with my iron. Now with some scraps, I'm going to cut out a waistband. I didn't have enough scrap fabric in one piece, so I had to make 2 pieces, and now I'm sewing them together. If it wasn't obvious enough, I made sure to serge all the edges because this fabric frays so badly. From here, I lined up all of the fabric and I made sure that the hemline was straight. When I mean hemline, I meant the top part. The bottom hem already has the pant bottom, so now we're just going to add the waistband. After I got the waistband sewn, I top stitched it down. Then I cut off the remnant fabric. Now I will be installing a yellow zipper. I went ahead and changed my foot to a zipper foot. You want to make sure that you have the right feet for the right job. Sounds a little weird, doesn't it? After that, I trimmed off the excess. Because I was using a pleated skirt, I didn't want the pleats to sit weird if I cut it first, so I sewed down the zipper and now I'm cutting off the excess. Now I switched back to a regular sewing foot and I folded over the zipper so I can top stitch it. This way I'm going to secure the edges and I don't have to serge it, and that way it will not fray. It also gives it a very polished look. Obviously you don't have to do this, but I like doing it. Now that the skirt is done, let's move on to the jacket. So I took my handy dress form out and I started laying out some paper and taping it down. From there, I started marking out how I wanted to make this jacket. That blazer is dated, so I wanted to make it a little bit more of a crop kind of fitted top. So let's see how it goes. I'm going to cut it off the mannequin and then I'm going to relay it onto the fabric. So the fabric, I did have to cut out more pant leg scraps and make it open, and then I pinned it out. Now cut it out. Because the back piece is two separate pieces, I'm going to have to sew it together, so we're going to do that now. Obviously, I wanted to have a side back instead of a side front, because the side front would be really weird if I had that extra dart in the front. So anyways, this is what it looks like after I sewed it together. It looks very clean. Obviously, it's going to be misaligned because of all of the extra pieces that I had to piece together, but I thought it was a nice little creative liberty, and I sewed down all the pieces and top stitched it with white thread. I wanted to show the importance of that dart in the front. It really cinches the fabric and makes it fit nicely according to the body line. It will look really funny if it's just cut out the way it is right here, but when you sew it, it'll fit. Hi everyone on Twitch, make sure to follow me there if you haven't done so already. So now, as you may have known, this fabric frays stupidly, so this jacket is not getting a lining, it's just going to be serged at the edges. For the bottom hem of the jacket, I decided to do a fold over hemline. I didn't have it line up properly, and I kind of feel really dumb about that because they're pant scraps. But the side around all of the top, I needed to create a lapel so that it fits appropriately. So what I did was take the measurement from the neckline all the way down to the breast, and then I drew out a lapel. Make sure you curve it, that way it has some nice ease and seam allowance. You should know the drill now. I pinned it onto some scrap fabrics. It's not really scrap, but these are all scrap. And then I cut it out. Of course, I needed 4 different pieces. I wanted this to be reversible on both sides, just in case, so I cut out 4 different pieces, 2 for the left and 2 for the right side. Then I'm going to sew them together and then flip them inside out. Once I get there, make sure to clip the edges of the little points, that way it will fit really nicely. Once you do that, then it'll fold nice, and then I'm going to top stitch it down. Obviously you should iron this, but I didn't do that. So instead what I did was use tons and tons of pins to hold everything in place, and that way I could sew it easier. I decided to hide the seam of the collar with this black lace. This is totally optional, and it's not in the original outfit of Cher, but I thought it would be prettier than just having a serged hemline. Think of this as sewing bias tape. Once I got all of it sewn around the first time, then I fold it over and then I sew on top of it again. Lastly, I created my own pattern for sleeves and I cut up some more pant legs. I didn't want it to go too long because, I don't know, I just didn't think it would look right. I just wanted a mini cuff kind of sleeve, and then I'm going to cut it out and sew it together. lot of fun creating this outfit. There's no shoulder pads to give the blazer a lot of like big oomph. And of course I don't have the exact same style of Cher's skirt. I made this all from memory, and so this is kind of an inspired look. With any cosplay, it's okay to do an inspired look versus doing pinpoint accuracy. Cher's outfits are very fashion forward and 90s styling at their time. So I wanted to do something a little bit more modern and my take on it. If you like the way that I did Cher's outfit for today's modern day society, make sure to click a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it, and it would let me know if I'm doing something right and if you like it or not. Make sure to check out all these other videos here around me. Next week we have another cosplay coming up, so make sure you subscribe to my sewing pincushion called YouTube so you don't miss out on any future cosplay content. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you had a lot of fun watching this video. Stay inspired, be creative, and I will see you in a future video. Bye!